Sack.
A bag made of paper or plastic for holding customers' purchases.
She carried her supplies in a sack. Sad.
Experiencing or showing sorrow or unhappiness.
We felt sad when we left. Sadly.
In an unfortunate way.
Sadly, he died before he could see his grandchild. Sadness.
The state of being sad.
She tired of his perpetual sadness. Safe.
Free from danger or the risk of harm.
You will be safe here. Safely.
With safety.
We are safely out of there. Safety.
The state of being certain that adverse effects will not be caused by some agent under defined conditions.
Ensure the safety of the children. Sail.
A large piece of fabric by means of which wind is used to propel a sailing vessel.
The ship sails. Sailing.
The action of sailing in a ship or boat.
A sailing club. Sailor.
Any member of a ship's crew.
A sailor fell overboard and was rescued. Salad.
Food mixtures either arranged on a plate or tossed and served with a moist dressing.
Chop the celery and add it to the salad. Salary.
Something that remunerates.
An annual raise in his salary. Sale.
A particular instance of selling.
He has just made his first sale. Salt.
White crystalline form of especially sodium chloride used to season and preserve food.
The potatoes need salt. Salty.
Containing or filled with salt.
Salty water. Same.
Same in identity.
This road is the same one we were on yesterday. Sample.
A small part of something intended as representative of the whole.
A sample of the fabric. Sand.
A loose material consisting of grains of rock or coral.
She ran across the sand. Satisfaction.
The contentment one feels when one has fulfilled a desire, need, or expectation.
The chef tasted the sauce with great satisfaction. Satisfied.
Filled with satisfaction.
A satisfied customer. Satisfy.
Meet the requirements or expectations of.
A last chance to satisfy his hunger for romance. Satisfying.
Giving pleasure because it provides something you need or want.
A satisfying meal. Saturday.
The seventh and last day of the week.
We went for a picnic on Saturday. Sauce.
Flavorful relish or dressing or topping served as an accompaniment to food.
A piquant sauce. Save.
Save from ruin, destruction, or harm.
The captain was saved by his crew. Saving.
An act of economizing.
There was a saving of 50 cents. Say.
Express in words.
He said that he wanted to marry her. Scale.
An ordered reference standard.
Judging on a scale of 1 to 10. Scare.
Cause fear in.
Your threats don't scare me. Scared.
Made afraid.
I've never been so scared in all my life. Scare off.
To make somebody afraid of or nervous about doing something, especially without intending to.
Rising prices are scaring customers off. Scene.
The place where some action occurs.
The police returned to the scene of the crime. Schedule.
Plan for an activity or event.
I've scheduled a concert next week. Scheme.
An elaborate and systematic plan of action.
Crazy fundraising schemes. School.
An educational institution.
The school was founded in 1900. Science.
A particular branch of scientific knowledge.
The science of genetics. Scientific.
Of or relating to the practice of science.
Scientific journals. Scientist.
A person with advanced knowledge of one or more sciences.
Her mother was a brilliant scientist. Scissors.
An edge tool having two crossed pivoting blades.
She took a pair of scissors and cut the string. Score.
A number or letter indicating quality.
What was your score on your homework? Scratch.
Cause friction.
My sweater scratches. Scream.
Utter a sudden loud cry.
He screamed in pain. Screen.
A covering that serves to conceal or shelter something.
A screen of trees afforded privacy. Screw.
A fastener with a tapered threaded shank and a slotted head.
One of the screws is loose. Sea.
A division of an ocean or a large body of salt water partially enclosed by land.
The sea sparkled in the sun. Seal.
Close with or as if with a seal.
She sealed the letter with hot wax. Seal off.
To prevent people from entering a particular area.
Troops sealed off the site following a bomb alert. Search.
Try to locate or discover.
The police are searching for clues. Season.
One of the natural periods into which the year is divided by the equinoxes and solstices or atmospheric conditions.
The regular sequence of the seasons. Seat.
A space reserved for sitting.
He booked their seats in advance. Second.
Following the first in an ordering or series.
He came in a close second. Secondary.
Being of second rank or importance or value.
A secondary issue. Secret.
Something that should remain hidden from others.
He tried to keep his drinking a secret. Secretary.
An assistant who handles correspondence and clerical work for a boss or an organization.
My secretary will call you about setting up an appointment. Secretly.
In secrecy.
The children secretly went to the movies when they were supposed to be at the library. Section.
A self-contained part of a larger composition.
The history of this work is discussed in the next section. Sector.
An area or portion that is distinct from others.
Every sector of the industry is affected. Secure.
Not likely to fail or give way.
The lock was secure. Security.
The state of being free from danger or injury.
We support the armed services in the name of national security. See.
Proceed by sight or have the power to proceed by sight.
Can you see the bird in that tree? See about.
To deal with something.
He had gone to see about a job he had heard of. Seed.
A small hard fruit.
Apple seeds. Seek.
Tried to get or reach.
Seek a position. Seem.
Give a certain impression or have a certain outward aspect.
She seems to be sleeping. See to.
To deal with something.
Will you see to the arrangements for the next meeting? Select.
Pick out, select, or choose from a number of alternatives.
She selected a pair of shoes from among the dozen the salesgirl had shown her. Selection.
The act of choosing or selecting.
Jim made his selection of toys. Self.
A person considered as a unique individual.
One's own self. Self.
Of, to or by yourself or itself.
Self-taught. Sell.
Exchange or deliver for money or its equivalent.
He sold his house in January. Sell off.
Get rid of by selling, usually at reduced prices.
The store sold off the surplus merchandise. Sell out.
To be all sold.
We have sold out of chocolate. Senate.
Assembly possessing high legislative powers.
A Senate committee. Senator.
A member of a Senate.
The senator denied making the remark. Send.
Cause to go somewhere.
She sent her children to camp. Send for.
To ask somebody to bring or deliver something to you.
His son found him and sent for help. Send off.
To write to somebody and ask them to send you something by post or mail.
I've sent off for some books for my course. Senior,
higher in rank.
senior officer. Sense,
A general conscious awareness.
a sense of happiness. Sensible,
Showing reason or sound judgment.
a sensible choice. Sensitive,
Responsive to physical stimuli.
sensitive to light. Sentence,
A string of words satisfying the grammatical rules of the language.
he always spoke in grammatical sentences. Separate,
Force, take, or pull apart.
he separated the fighting children. Separated,
Being or feeling set or kept apart from others.
thought of herself as alone and separated from the others. Separately,
Apart from others.
I'll have to interview you all separately. Separation,
The distance between things.
fragile items require separation and cushioning. September,
The month following August and preceding October.
a warm September evening. Series,
Similar things placed in order or happening one after another.
they were investigating a series of bank robberies. Serious,
Concerned with work or important matters rather than play or trivialities.
a serious young man. Seriously,
In a serious manner.
a play dealing seriously with the question of divorce. Servant,
A person working in the service of another.
servants were cleaning the hall. Serve,
Serve a purpose, role, or function.
the tree stump serves as a table. Service,
Work done by one person or group that benefits another.
budget separately for goods and services. Session,
A meeting devoted to a particular activity.
a filming session. Set,
A group of things of the same kind that belong together and are so used.
a set of books. Set off,
To begin a journey.
we set off for London just after 10. Set out,
To leave a place and begin a journey.
they set out on the last stage of their journey. Settle,
Come to terms.
we finally settled the argument. Settle down,
Become settled or established and stable in one's residence or lifestyle.
he finally settled down. Set up,
Set up or found.
she set up a literacy program. 7.
The cardinal number that is the sum of 6 and 1.
Wake me up at 7 tomorrow. 17.
The cardinal number that is the sum of 16 and 1.
I left home when I was 17. 7th.
Position 7 in a countable series of things.
He was knocked out in the 7th round. 70th.
Position 70 in a countable series of things.
They congratulated him on his 70th birthday. 70.
The cardinal number that is the product of 10 and 7.
This house was built 70 years ago. Several.
Of an indefinite number more than 2 or 3 but not many.
Several letters came in the mail. Severe.
Intensely or extremely bad or unpleasant in degree or quality.
Severe pain. Severely.
To a severe or serious degree.
A severely impaired heart. Sew.
Fasten by sewing.
She sewed the seams of the tunic. Sewing.
Needlework on which you are working with needle and thread.
She put her sewing back in the basket. Sex.
Activities associated with sexual intercourse.
He enjoyed talking about sex. Sexual.
Of or relating to or characterized by sexuality.
Sexual distinctions. Sexually.
With respect to sexuality.
Sexually ambiguous. Shade.
Relative darkness caused by light rays being intercepted by an opaque body.
It is much cooler in the shade. Shadow.
Shade within clear boundaries.
He saw her shadow in the doorway. Shake.
Move or cause to move back and forth.
My hands were shaking. Shall.
Expressing the future tense.
This time next week I shall be in Scotland. Shallow.
Lacking physical depth.
Shallow water. Shame.
A state of dishonor.
One mistake brought shame to all his family. Shape.
Any spatial attributes.
He could barely make out their shapes. Shaped.
Shaped to fit by or as if by altering the contours of a pliable mess.
A shaped hand grip. Share.
Assets belonging to or due to or contributed by an individual person or group.
He wanted his share in cash. Sharp.
Having or made by a thin edge or sharp point.
A sharp knife. Sharply.
In an aggressive manner.
She was being sharply questioned. Shave.
Remove body hair with a razor.
He shaved his beard. She.
Used to refer to a woman, girl, or female animal previously mentioned or easily identified.
My sister told me that she was not happy. Sheep.
Woolly, usually horned ruminant mammal related to the goat.
A herder of sheep. Sheet.
Any broad thin expanse or surface.
A sheet of ice. Shelf.
A support that consists of a horizontal surface for holding objects.
The plant on the shelf. Shell.
The material that forms the hard outer covering of many animals.
A crab shell. Shelter.
A structure that provides privacy and protection from danger.
The shelter is a brick construction. Shift.
Change place or direction.
Shift one's position. Shine.
Emit light.
The sun shone bright that day. Shiny.
Reflecting light.
A shiny red apple. Ship.
A vessel that carries passengers or freight.
They traveled by ship. Shirt.
A garment worn on the upper half of the body.
Tuck your shirt into your trousers. Shock.
The feeling of distress and disbelief that you have when something bad happens accidentally.
He was numb with shock. Shocked.
Struck with fear, dread, or consternation.
I was deeply shocked to learn of his death. Shocking.
Giving offense to moral sensibilities and injurious to reputation.
The most shocking book of its time. Shoe.
Footwear shaped to fit the foot with a flexible upper of leather or plastic and a sole and heel of heavier material.
She took off her left shoe. Shoot.
Hit with a missile from a weapon.
They were told to shoot enemies upon sight. Shoot down.
Shoot at and forced to come down.
Several planes were shot down by enemy fire. Shooting.
The act of firing a projectile.
His shooting was slow but accurate. Shop.
A mercantile establishment for the retail sale of goods or services.
He bought it at a shop on Cape Cod. Shopping.
Searching for or buying goods or services.
Does her shopping at the mall rather than downtown. Short.
Having little length or lacking in length.
Short skirts. Shortly.
For a short time.
He was at the airport shortly before she was expected to arrive. Shot.
A solid missile discharged from a firearm.
The shot buzzed past his ear. Should.
Used to indicate obligation, duty, or correctness, typically when criticizing someone's actions.
He should have been more careful. Shoulder.
The part of the body between the neck and the upper arm.
He slung the bag over his shoulder. Shout.
Utter in a loud voice.
There's no need to shout, I can hear perfectly well. Show.
Make visible or noticeable.
She showed her talent for cooking. Shower.
A plumbing fixture that sprays water over you.
They installed a shower in the bathroom. Show off.
Display proudly.
He showed off his new sports car. Show round.
To be a guide for somebody when they visit a place for the first time to show them what is interesting.
Has anyone shown you round yet? Show up.
Appear or become visible.
It was getting late when she finally showed up. Shut.
Move so that an opening or passage is obstructed.
Shut the window. Shut down.
Cease to operate or cause to cease operating.
The plant is shutting down in August. Shut in.
To put somebody in a room and keep them there.
She shut the dog in the shed while she prepared the barbecue. Shut out.
Prevent from entering.
The trees were shutting out all sunlight. Shut up.
Refuse to talk or stop talking.
The children shut up when their father approached. Shy.
Lacking self-confidence.
I was pretty shy at school. Sick.
Affected by an impairment of normal physical or mental function.
The children are sick. Side.
A place within a region identified relative to a center or reference location.
They always sat on the right side of the church. Sideways.
Toward one side.
The car slipped sideways into the ditch. Sight.
Anything that is seen.
They went to Paris to see the sights. Sign.
A perceptible indication of something not immediately apparent.
He showed signs of strain. Signal.
Any nonverbal action or gesture that encodes a message.
Signals from the boat suddenly stopped. Signature.
Your name written in your own handwriting.
Is this your signature? Significant.
Important in effect or meaning.
A significant change in tax laws. Significantly.
In a statistically significant way.
The two groups differed significantly. Silence.
The state of being silent.
There was a shocked silence. Silent.
Marked by absence of sound.
A silent house. Silk.
A fabric made from the fine threads produced by certain insect larvae.
This artificial fabric has the texture of silk. Silly.
Ludicrous, foolish.
A silly idea. Silver.
A soft white precious univalent metallic element having the highest electrical and thermal conductivity of any metal.
Some coins are made of silver. Similar.
Marked by correspondence or resemblance.
They wore similar coats. Similarly.
In like or similar manner.
He was similarly affected. Simple.
Not complex or complicated or involved.
A simple problem. Simply.
And nothing more.
It is simply a matter of time. Since.
From a time in the past until a later past time, or until now.
We've lived here since 2006. Sincere.
Open and genuine.
He was a good man, decent and sincere. Sincerely.
With sincerity.
She praised him sincerely for his victory. Sing.
Deliver by singing.
Sing Christmas carols. Singer.
A person who sings.
She's the lead singer. Singing.
The act of singing vocal music.
The sound of singing come from the kitchen. Single.
Not married or related to the unmarried state.
Are you married or single? Sink.
Fall or descend to a lower place or level.
He sank to his knees. Sir.
Term of address for a man.
Excuse me, sir. Sister.
A female person who has the same parents as another person.
My sister married a musician. Sit.
To rest her weight on your bottom with your back vertical.
She always sits in that chair. Sit down.
Take a seat.
Let's sit down and have a rest. Site.
The piece of land on which something is located.
A good site for the school. Situation.
The general state of things.
The present international situation is dangerous. 6.
The cardinal number that is the sum of 5 and 1.
The meeting lasted from 2 o'clock to 6. 16.
The cardinal number that is the sum of 15 and 1.
He moved to London when he was 16. 6th.
Coming next after the 5th and just before the 7th in position.
The dictionary is now in its 6th edition. 60th.
The ordinal number of 60 in counting order.
He is to retire on his 60th birthday. 60.
The cardinal number that is the product of 10 and 6.
A crew of 60. Size.
The physical magnitude of something.
A wolf is about the size of a large dog. Skillful.
Having or showing knowledge and skill and aptitude.
A skillful player. Skillfully.
With skill.
A skillfully crafted novel. Skill.
An ability that has been acquired by training.
He is a negotiator of considerable skill. Skilled.
Having or showing or requiring special skill.
Only the most skilled gymnasts make an Olympic team. Skin.
A natural protective body covering inside of the sense of touch.
Your skin is the largest organ of your body. Skirt.
Cloth covering that forms the part of a garment below the waist.
The skirt was too big around the waist. Sky.
The atmosphere and outer space as viewed from the earth.
The sun was shining in the sky. Sleep.
A natural and periodic state of rest during which consciousness of the world is suspended.
He didn't get enough sleep last night. Sleeve.
The part of a garment that is attached at the armhole and that provides the cloth covering for the arm.
A shirt with the sleeves rolled up. Slice.
A serving that has been cut from a larger portion.
A slice of bread. Slide.
To pass or move unobtrusively or smoothly.
They slid through the wicket in the big gate. Slight.
Small in quantity or degree.
There's a slight chance it will work. Slightly.
To a small degree or extent.
The children argued because one slice of cake was slightly larger than the other. Slip.
Move stealthily.
The ship slipped away in the darkness. Slope.
An elevated geological formation.
He climbed the steep slope. Slow.
Not moving quickly.
A slow walker. Slowly.
Without speed.
He spoke slowly. Small.
Limited or below average in number or quantity or magnitude or extent.
A small car. Smart.
Characterized by quickness and ease in learning.
Smart children talk earlier than the average. Smash.
Break into pieces, as by striking or knocking over.
Smash a plate. Smell.
The sensation that results when olfactory receptors in the nose are stimulated by particular chemicals in gaseous form.
She loved the smell of roses. Smile.
Change one's facial expression by spreading the lips, often to signal pleasure.
He smiled at her. Smoke.
Inhale and exhale smoke from cigarettes, cigars, pipes.
We never smoked marijuana. Smoking.
The act of smoking tobacco or other substances.
The effect of smoking on health. Smooth.
Make smooth or smoother, as if by rubbing.
Smooth the surface of the wood. Smoothly.
With no problems or difficulties.
Put the plans into effect quickly and smoothly. Snake.
Limbless scaly elongate reptile.
The snake shed its skin. Snow.
Precipitation falling from clouds in the form of ice crystals.
The first snow of the season. So.
To a very great extent or degree.
The idea is so obvious. Soap.
A cleansing agent made from the salts of vegetable or animal fats.
A bar of soap. Social.
Relating to human society and its members.
Social institutions. Socially.
By or with respect to society.
Socially accepted norms. Society.
A formal association of people with similar interests.
They formed a small lunch society. Sock.
Hosiery consisting of a cloth covering for the foot.
Please darn the hole in my sock. Soft.
Easy to mold, cut, compress, or fold.
Soft margarine. Softly.
In a manner that is pleasing to the senses.
She smiled softly. Software.
The programs and other operating information used by a computer.
The market for software is expected to expand. Soil.
Material in the top layer of the surface of the earth in which plants can grow.
Good agricultural soil. Soldier.
An enlisted man or woman who serves in an army.
The soldier stood at attention. Solid.
Neither liquid nor gaseous.
Ice is water in the solid state. Solution.
A statement that solves a problem or explains how to solve the problem.
They were trying to find a peaceful solution. Solve.
Find the solution to or understand the meaning of.
Did you solve the problem? Some.
Quantifier.
Some roses were still blooming. Somebody.
Someone.
Somebody should have told me. Somehow.
In some unspecified way or manner.
They managed somehow. Someone.
A human being.
There's someone at the door. Something.
A thing that is not known or mentioned by name.
There's something wrong with the TV. Sometimes.
On certain occasions or in certain cases but not always.
Sometimes she wished she were back in England. Somewhat.
To a small degree or extent.
His arguments were somewhat self-contradictory. Somewhere.
In or at or to some place.
She must be somewhere. Son.
A male human offspring.
Their son became a famous judge. Song.
A short musical composition with words.
A successful musical must have at least 3 good songs. Soon.
In the near future.
The doctor will soon be here. Sore.
Hurting.
A sore leg. Sorry.
Feeling or expressing regret or sorrow or a sense of loss over something done or undone.
I was sorry to hear about his accident. Sort.
A category of things distinguished by some common characteristic or quality.
What sort of book is it? Sort out.
To organize the contents of something.
The cupboards need sorting out. Soul.
The immaterial part of a person.
He believed his immortal soul was in peril. Sound.
The particular auditory effect produced by a given cause.
The sound of rain on the roof. Soup.
Liquid food, especially of meat or fish or vegetable stock, often containing pieces of solid food.
A cup of homemade soup. Sour.
In an unpalatable state.
Sour milk. Source.
The place where something begins, where it springs into being.
Pittsburgh is the source of the Ohio River. South.
Situated in or facing or moving toward or coming from the south.
The south entrance. Southern.
Situated in or coming from regions of the south.
Southern constellations. Space.
An empty area.
The space between his teeth. Spare.
More than is needed, desired, or required.
Sleeping in the spare room. Speak.
Express in speech.
She refused to speak about it. Speaker.
Someone who expresses in language.
The speaker at commencement. Speak out.
Express one's opinion openly and without fear or hesitation.
I am going to speak out against the committee's decision. Speak up.
Speak louder.
The audience asked the lecturer to please speak up. Special.
Unique or specific to a person or thing or category.
The special features of a computer. Specialist.
An expert who is devoted to one occupation or branch of learning.
He's an electronics specialist. Specially.
In a special manner.
A specially arranged dinner. Specific.
Applying to or characterized by or distinguishing something particular or special or unique.
Demand specific to the job. Specifically.
In distinction from others.
A program specifically for teenagers. Speech.
Communication by word of mouth.
His speech was garbled. Speed.
A rate at which something happens.
The project advanced with gratifying speed. Speed up.
Move faster.
The train soon speeded up. Spell.
Orally recite the letters of or give the spelling of.
How do you spell this word? Spelling.
Forming words with letters according to the principles underlying accepted usage.
The spelling of the word is wrong. Spend.
Pay out.
Spend money. Spice.
Any of a variety of pungent aromatic vegetable substances used for flavoring food.
The spices in curry powder. Spicy.
Having an agreeably pungent taste.
A spicy casserole. Spider.
Predatory arachnid with 8 legs, 2 poison fangs, 2 feelers, and usually 2 silk-spinning organs at the back end of the body.
He watched a spider spinning its web. Spin.
Revolve quickly and repeatedly around one's own axis.
The bike wheels are spinning. Spirit.
The state of a person's emotions.
He was in good spirits. Spiritual.
Concerned with or affecting the spirit or soul.
A spiritual approach to life. Spite.
Feeling a need to see others suffer.
He said it out of spite. Split.
Separate into parts or portions.
The ice cracked and split. Split up.
Discontinue an association or relation.
My friend and I split up. Spoil.
Become unfit for consumption or use.
The meat must be eaten before it spoils. Spoken.
Uttered through the medium of speech or characterized by speech.
A spoken message. Spoon.
A piece of cutlery with a shallow bowl-shaped container and a handle.
She feeds the baby with a spoon. Sport.
An active diversion requiring physical exertion and competition.
We did a lot of sports. Spot.
A small contrasting part of something.
A bald spot. Spray.
Water in small drops in the atmosphere.
A cloud of fine spray came up from the waterfall. Spread.
Distribute or disperse widely.
The invaders spread their language all over the country. Spread out.
To stretch your body or arrange your things over a large area.
There's more room to spread out in first class. Spring.
The season of growth.
The emerging buds were a sure sign of spring. Square.
A plane rectangle with 4 equal sides and 4 right angles.
You can compute the area of a square if you know the length of its sides. Squeeze.
To compress with violence, out of natural shape or condition.
Squeeze a lemon. Stable.
Resistant to change of position or condition.
A stable ladder. Staff.
Personnel who assist their superior in carrying out an assigned task.
The hospital has an excellent nursing staff. Stage.
Any distinct time period in a sequence of events.
We are in a transitional stage in which many former ideas must be revised or rejected. Stair.
Support consisting of a place to rest the foot while ascending or descending a stairway.
He came up the stairs. Stamp.
A symbol that is the result of printing or engraving.
He put his stamp on the envelope. Stand.
Be standing.
We had to stand for the entire performance. Standard.
A basis for comparison.
The schools comply with federal standards. Stand back.
To move back from a place.
The police ordered the crowd to stand back. Stand by.
Not act or do anything.
He just stood by when the police beat up the demonstrators. Stand for.
To be an abbreviation or symbol of something.
BC stands for British Columbia. Stand out.
Be highly noticeable.
She's the sort of person who stands out in a crowd. Stand up.
To be on your feet.
There were no seats left, so I had to stand up. Stand up for.
To support or defend somebody or something.
You must stand up for your rights. Star.
A celestial body of hot gases that radiates energy derived from thermonuclear reactions in the interior.
The sky was full of stars. Stare.
Look at with fixed eyes.
The students stared at the teacher with amazement. Start.
The beginning of anything.
It was off to a good start. Start off.
To begin to move.
The horse started off at a steady trot. Start out.
To begin to do something, especially in business or work.
She started out on her legal career in 2001. Start up.
Get going or set in motion.
Start up the computer. State.
The way something is with respect to its main attributes.
His state of health. Statement.
A message that is stated or declared.
According to his statement, he was in London on that day. Station.
A facility equipped with special equipment and personnel for a particular purpose.
He started looking for a gas station. Statue.
A sculpture representing a human or animal.
A statue of Alexander Hamilton. Status.
The relative position or standing of things or especially persons in a society.
He had the status of a minor. Stay.
Remain behind.
I had to stay at home and watch the children. Stay away.
To not go near a particular person or place.
I want you to stay away from my daughter. Stay out of.
To not become involved in something that does not concern you.
I wish you'd stay out of my business. Steadily.
At a steady rate or pace.
His interest eroded steadily. Steady.
Not subject to change or variation, especially in behavior.
A steady increase. Steal.
Take without the owner's consent.
Someone stole my wallet on the train. Steam.
Water at boiling temperature diffused in the atmosphere.
Steam from the kettle. Steel.
An alloy of iron with small amounts of carbon.
The bridge is reinforced with huge steel girders. Steep.
Having a sharp inclination.
The steep attic stairs. Steeply.
In a steep manner.
The street rose steeply up to the castle. Steer.
Determine the direction of traveling.
He steered the boat. Step.
The act of changing location by raising the foot and setting it down.
He walked with unsteady steps. Stick.
An implement consisting of a length of wood.
The kid had a candied apple on a stick. Stick out.
To be noticeable or easily seen.
They wrote the notice in big red letters so that it would stick out. Stick to.
Keep to.
Stick to the diet. Stick up.
To point upwards or be above a surface.
The branch was sticking up out of the water. Sticky.
Having the sticky properties of an adhesive.
Sticky tape. Stiff.
Not moving or operating freely.
A stiff hinge. Stiffly.
In a stiff manner.
His hands lay stiffly. Still.
Free from noticeable current.
Still waters run deep. Sting.
Something as sudden and painful as being stung.
He felt the stinging of nettles. Stir.
Move an implement through.
Stir the soup. Stock.
The capital raised by a corporation through the issue of shares entitling holders to an ownership interest.
He owns a controlling share of the company's stock. Stomach.
An enlarged and muscular sac-like organ of the alimentary canal.
A stomach pain. Stone.
A lump or mass of hard consolidated mineral matter.
Someone threw a stone at me. Stop.
Come to a halt. Stop moving.
The car stopped. Store.
Keep or lay aside for future use.
Store grain for the winter. Storm.
Very bad weather with strong winds and rain, and often thunder and lightning.
The coast was battered by a storm. Story.
A piece of fiction that narrates a chain of related events.
He writes stories for the magazines. Stove.
A kitchen appliance used for cooking food.
Dinner was already on the stove. Straight.
Having no deviations.
Straight lines. Strain.
To exert much effort or energy.
Straining our ears to hear. Strange.
Being definitely out of the ordinary and unexpected.
What a strange sense of humor she has. Strangely.
In a strange manner.
The audience is strangely silent. Stranger.
An individual that one is not acquainted with.
Don't talk to strangers. Strategy.
An elaborate and systematic plan of action.
The government's economic strategy. Stream.
A natural body of running water flowing on or under the earth.
A mountain stream. Street.
The part of a thoroughfare between the sidewalks.
Be careful crossing the street. Strength.
The property of being physically or mentally strong.
Fatigue sapped his strength. Stress.
A state of mental or emotional strain or suspense.
Stress is a vasoconstrictor. Stressed.
Suffering severe physical strain or distress.
He was feeling very stressed and tired. Stretch.
Occupy a large, elongated area.
The park stretched beneath the train line. Strict.
Rigidly accurate.
A strict vegetarian. Strictly.
Restricted to something.
We talked strictly business. Strike.
Hit against.
He struck the table with his elbow. Striking.
Sensational in appearance or thrilling in effect.
His striking good looks always created a sensation. String.
A lightweight cord.
A knotted piece of string. Strip.
Get undressed.
She strips in front of strangers every night for a living. Stripe.
An adornment consisting of a strip of a contrasting color or material.
A pair of blue shorts with pink stripes. Striped.
Marked or decorated with stripes.
A striped shirt. Stroke.
The act of swinging or striking at a ball with a club or racket or bat or cue or hand.
It took 2 strokes to get out of the bunker. Strong.
Having strength or power greater than average or expected.
A strong man. Strongly.
With strength or in a strong manner.
He was strongly opposed to the government. Structure.
A thing constructed.
The structure consisted of a series of arches. Struggle.
Make a strenuous or labored effort.
She struggled for years to survive without welfare. Student.
A learner who is enrolled in an educational institution.
A college student. Studio.
Workplace for the teaching or practice of an art.
She ran a dance studio. Study.
Applying the mind to learning and understanding a subject.
The study of English. Stuff.
Miscellaneous unspecified objects.
The trunk was full of stuff. Stupid.
Lacking or marked by lack of intellectual acuity.
They're rather stupid. Style.
How something is done or how it happens.
Differing styles of management. Subject.
The subject matter of a conversation or discussion.
He didn't want to discuss that subject. Substance.
The real physical matter of which a person or thing consists.
DNA is the substance of our genes. Substantial.
Fairly large.
Won by a substantial margin. Substantially.
To a great extent or degree.
The price went up substantially. Substitute.
Put in the place of another.
Substitute regular milk with fat-free milk. Succeed.
Attain success or reach a desired goal.
The enterprise succeeded. Success.
An event that accomplishes its intended purpose.
Let's call heads a success and tails a failure. Successful.
Having succeeded or being marked by a favorable outcome.
A successful architect. Successfully.
With success.
She performed the surgery successfully. Such.
To so extreme a degree.
He is such a baby. Suck.
Draw into the mouth by creating a practical vacuum in the mouth.
The baby sucked on the mother's breast. Sudden.
Happening without warning or in a short space of time.
A sudden decision. Suddenly.
Happening unexpectedly.
Suddenly she felt a sharp pain in her side. Suffer.
Undergo.
She suffered a fracture in the accident. Suffering.
Physical or mental pain.
This war has caused widespread human suffering. Sufficient.
Of a quantity that can fulfill a need or requirement but without being abundant.
Sufficient food. Sufficiently.
To a sufficient degree.
She was sufficiently fluent in Mandarin. Sugar.
A white crystalline carbohydrate used as a sweetener and preservative.
Add a pinch of sugar to the strawberries. Suggest.
Make a proposal. Declare a plan for something.
I suggest we go out to eat. Suggestion.
An idea that is suggested.
The picnic was her suggestion. Suit.
A set of garments for outerwear all of the same fabric and color.
They buried him in his best suit. Suitable.
Meant or adapted for an occasion or use.
A tractor suitable for heavy duty. Suitcase.
A portable rectangular container for carrying clothes.
She packed a small suitcase for the weekend. Suited.
Right or appropriate for a particular person, purpose, or situation.
The task is ideally suited to a computer. Sum.
A quantity of money.
He borrowed a large sum. Summary.
A brief statement that presents the main points in a concise form.
He gave a summary of the conclusions. Summer.
The warmest season of the year.
They spent a lazy summer at the shore. Sum up.
Give a summary.
He summed up his results. Sun.
The star that is the source of light and heat for the planets in the solar system.
The Earth revolves around the sun. Sunday.
First day of the week.
The church choir sing every Sunday morning. Superior.
Of high or superior quality or performance.
Superior math students. Supermarket.
A large self-service grocery store selling groceries and dairy products and household goods.
I bought a bar of soap in the supermarket. Supply.
An amount of something available for use.
The water supply is unsafe. Support.
Give moral or psychological support, aid, or courage to.
She supported him during the illness. Supporter.
A person who backs a politician or a team, etc.
All their supporters came out for the game. Suppose.
To believe, especially on uncertain or tentative grounds.
Scientists suppose that large dinosaurs lived in swamps. Sure.
Having or feeling no doubt or uncertainty.
I am sure that they didn't know. Surely.
Definitely or positively.
The results are surely encouraging. Surface.
The outer boundary of an artifact or a material layer constituting or resembling such a boundary.
There is a special cleaner for these surfaces. Surname.
The name used to identify the members of a family.
Smith is a common surname. Surprise.
The astonishment you feel when something totally unexpected happens to you.
Kate looked at me in surprise. Surprised.
Taken unawares or suddenly and feeling wonder or astonishment.
A surprised expression. Surprising.
Causing surprise or wonder or amazement.
She earned a surprising amount of money. Surprisingly.
In a surprising manner.
He was surprisingly friendly. Surround.
Extend on all sides of simultaneously.
The forest surrounds my property. Surrounding.
Closely encircling.
The surrounding countryside. Surroundings.
The environmental condition.
The surroundings were unfamiliar. Survey.
Look over carefully or inspect.
He surveyed his new classmates. Survive.
Continue in existence after.
He survived the cancer against all odds. Suspect.
Imagine to be the case or true or probable.
I suspect he is a fugitive. Suspicion.
The state of being suspected.
He tried to shield me from suspicion. Suspicious.
Not as expected.
Suspicious behavior. Swallow.
Pass through the esophagus as part of eating or drinking.
She couldn't swallow anything. Swear.
Promise solemnly.
They swore to marry each other. Swearing.
Rude or offensive language.
I was shocked at the swearing. Sweat.
Salty fluid secreted by sweat glands.
Sweat poured off his brow. Sweater.
A crocheted or knitted garment covering the upper part of the body.
The sweater had shrunk after repeated washing. Sweep.
Clean by sweeping.
Please sweep the floor. Sweet.
Having or denoting the characteristic taste of sugar.
Sweet cinnamon buns. Swell.
Expand abnormally.
Her lips swelled up. Swelling.
An abnormal protuberance or localized enlargement.
Use ice to reduce the swelling. Swim.
Travel through water.
We had to swim for 20 minutes to reach the shore. Swimming.
The act of swimming.
It was the swimming they enjoyed most. Swimming pool.
Pool that provides a facility for swimming.
An indoor swimming pool. Swing.
To move backwards or forwards or from side to side while hanging from a fixed point.
His arm swung as he walked. Switch.
Control consisting of a mechanical or electrical or electronic device for making or breaking or changing the connections in a circuit.
A light switch. Switch off.
Caused to stop operating by disengaging a switch.
The electricity has been switched off. Swollen.
Larger than normal, especially as a result of a disease or an injury.
Her eyes were red and swollen from crying. Symbol.
Something visible that by association or convention represents something else that is invisible.
The eagle is a symbol of the United States. Sympathetic.
Expressing or feeling or resulting from sympathy or compassion or friendly fellow feelings.
A sympathetic observer. Sympathy.
An inclination to support or be loyal to or to agree with an opinion.
His sympathies were always with the underdog. System.
An ordered manner.
We can't do it unless we establish some system around here.